Disney has officially canceled all future Run Disney events indefinitely at Disneyland, and they've installed FastPass scanners at Small World. These are two small news items that leave a lot to be read between the lines. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Fresh Baked. And before we get into these interesting news items, I want to ask everybody to take a minute to subscribe to our channel here, and I'd appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Fresh Baked and stuff. So Disney has canceled all future Run Disney events indefinitely. Their announcement cites ongoing construction for Galaxy's Edge and the Eastern Gateway as the contributing factors, the main contributing factors to the cancellation of the events. On the surface, this all seems very logical. There's a lot going on here to be considered, especially when you consider that these races at Disneyland leave the park boundaries and go out into the city of Anaheim. Meanwhile, the parking lot where a lot of these races start is the future site of a new hotel. More construction going on there. But if you pause and just examine things a little bit, examine some of the details, you might see that there could be a little room for a bluff by Disney here. First, plenty of construction going on at Walt Disney World. I mean, there's stuff going on in every park. Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, Epcot. They've got more projects than they know what to do with, more than Disneyland certainly does. And yet, all systems are go for their Run Disney events. Second, as far as I can tell, the construction of Galaxy's Edge is not a hindrance at all to any of the Run Disney events. They've done a couple since they've started the construction, obviously, and I don't see where that would be a factor at all. But the Eastern Gateway, that is a project that exists outside of the traditional park boundaries and does have a chance to intersect with the Run Disney events. Except that currently there is no construction going on at the Eastern Gateway. Nothing is being constructed. It is constructionless. It has been a pile of dirt for a year. So this means that either construction is imminent for the Eastern Gateway project, or, and this could be possibly more likely, this is a less than subtle jab at the city of Anaheim, reminding them of who puts a lot of money in the city pockets, that being Disney. Now, the Run Disney events, it should be noted, are for-profit events. Disney does make a profit, but they're not the only ones. In fact, the entire city does, the entire county. $20 to $30 million per year are generated outside of Disney from these Run Disney events. And when you take these events off the books, clearly, you're going to be taking money out of the pockets of the local businesses, and they're not going to be paying any taxes for the city either. Not to mention all the fees that the city collects for the permits or for the overtime that are paid to the police who are required to work these events, to work crowd control and on the streets. Couple that with the fact that due to a state law, Disney is not permitted to use volunteers for their events like they can at Walt Disney World. This obviously means a thinner profit margin from Disney as they have to subcontract all that stuff to third parties. Meanwhile, at Walt Disney World, because the entire event is on property, they don't have to worry about using volunteers, they don't have to worry about permits, and they don't have to worry about hiring police in order to manage crowds or to control traffic. That means more profit for Run Disney events at Disney World, and it means that the Run Disney events at Disneyland are expendable. So, is Disney sending a message to the city of Anaheim? Let us finish this Eastern Gateway project or else. But even if this were true, isn't it still better for Disney to cooperate with the city of Anaheim rather than play chicken like this? We don't know if it's true or not, but doesn't it make more sense that they would do this? I don't know, but it's fascinating theater. I don't want this to be true. I would prefer that Disney does cooperate. I prefer everybody to get along and make this thing happen. But, I mean, it's big business and anything goes. Meanwhile, back in Fantasyland, we've got these FastPass scanners that were recently installed outside of Small World. Great news for fans of FastPasses, or for fans of MaxPass, or even for fans of Small World, I guess. But again, if we take a second to read between the lines, we can see that there's a little bit that we can infer here, and it may confirm a previous Mice Chat rumor. You see, the thing is that Small World doesn't have a FastPass, nor have we seen them building any FastPass kiosks, much like we did with the Matterhorn. All we have are those scanners, which means the only way to get a FastPass for Small World is via MaxPass. And I'll pause a second to let everybody scream in terror and shake their fists. Mice Chat suggested a while back that we might be headed in this direction, and it certainly does look like that is the case. And that direction is future attractions being added to the MaxPass system without getting physical kiosks. This means it gives more value to the MaxPass system, the paid MaxPass system, because you can't get these additional FastPasses without MaxPass. And by that I mean go to Space Mountain, go to Splash Mountain, go to Big Thunder, and there are physical kiosks where you can put in your park pass and get a fast pass without having to get MaxPass. And as the system grows and gains more traction, which I believe it absolutely will, because by all accounts, everybody seems to love MaxPass, we're going to see more attractions get added in this way. And it doesn't take much imagination to see a future where physical kiosks are eventually phased out until there's only a paid MaxPass system left. So, long story short, FastPass scanners in the front of Small World are a shot across the bow in the battle versus MaxPass and the free FastPass system. And up next, I 100% believe that we're going to see this happen very soon at Pirates of the Caribbean. Which brings to mind a point that will probably be heard and agreed to and then forgotten quickly by Disney executives and everybody else, I would imagine. And that is that both Small World and Pirates, assuming Pirates does come next in terms of MaxPass, those two attractions are both highly effective ride systems. So much to the point that no FastPass is needed for those rides at all. There's really no need for them. There's no benefit, major benefit, that can be gained by adding them. I can only really see downside. And I'm sorry to be negative on this, Fresh Bake, because I know how much you don't like it when we get negative, but unfortunately, we got to call them like we see them, and this is not a good thing in my opinion. But what do you think, Fresh Bake? Do you like the idea of getting a FastPass for Small World or for Pirates of the Caribbean? Do you like the idea of them being paid only? Is that something that would appeal to you? Maybe people do want this. Maybe people do want a paid only FastPass system in order to give themselves an extra jump on the rest of the crowd and let everybody else, all those other people, wait. What do you think of the cancellation of the Run Disney events? Do you smell a conspiracy here? Let us know in the comments below, and until next time, remember to love Disney every day and Fresh Baked.